Hey guys, Tara here. Welcome back to the GT Online video, this time Dangerous Road Rally episode 4. If you didn't miss the video last time, definitely do check that one out. It should be the iCard if I remember in editing. So the first car today is the Ruiner. A car, well, it's the first muscle car I think to take on this course, but it hasn't got the most power in the world, so I'm thinking it's not going to go around in the circle, well hopefully at all, but I'm thinking it shouldn't have too many issues. But it has been a while since I've driven this course at the time of recording this. It's been about 2 weeks since I've actually driven this course, so going to be a little bit rusty, but seems to be okay so far, not going massively off of the course anywhere. Got to try to build back my confidence back on this course, because I'm really out of the rhythm of doing it, running a bit wide so far, but managing to actually get through the first sector okay. So, well, the first sector not proving to have any issues, running out a bit wide under braking, so losing a little bit of time there, but that's okay so far. But this is going to be where the real problems start to come now. Into the braking, heavy braking, just managed to miss the wall. But now coming into the sector is where all of this car's issues are going to start to happen, and oh, that didn't take very long, did it? First corner in the section of Doom, and I've already fallen off. I'm round it at least, and now coming back into the sector of Doom once again. Over that corner nice and okay. Now hopefully you can try and get a further this time. Back end getting a bit squirrely because it's a muscle car, so I wanted to put the power down. We managed to get around that corner just about this time, and oh, well, that's a horrible line once again. I have absolutely so much rhythm with this course. And now coming over to the jump, and no, not even make it to the jump, and hit the wall first, and oh no, stop please Ruiner. Oh no, we're going straight in the drink, aren't we? Oh, this is going to be painful, it's going to be painful. Are we going to stop? We're going to stop before we hit the drink. No, we're not stopping this. Just keep it on the course. They're losing a bit of time going into the bush, but managing to keep it on the road. And now coming back now to where we had issues last time. Managed to get around here this time, going very, very slowly over the bush. And oh no, we've hit the bush. We've had issues. We've had so many issues. Can we land this? No, that was a very aggressive roll. And I think I'm definitely going to need to take it a lot slower over there if I actually want to get a run out. Oh, that's a nice view of me inside the car. And coming back down to the drink once again, but this time, thankfully, I managed to stop before we go into the drink, and oh, half my front windows managed to survive that crash right down the mountain. Okay, it seems I really can't drive this course, and when I eventually manage to get a run out of this car, I'm hoping its time will be somewhere close to the Z-Type, since the Z-Type and muscle cars have fairly similar characteristics in terms of the way they are. I mean, a lot of power, but not a lot of grip, but the Z-Type did have quite a bit more power than what this Ruiner does, but I think the Ruiner does have better cornering capability, so it makes up some time in the corners. I'm just hoping it can make up enough. And I still think the Ruiner should put up a pretty decent time. I mean, it's definitely not going to be the slowest time, I hope, unless something goes drastically wrong. But again, I don't think it's going to be anywhere near challenging the time of the Zentorno or the Omni, but I still think it could be on for a top 5 time when we eventually manage to get a run out of it. Now coming back into the sector of Doom, going very, very early on the brakes, just missing that rock there on the left. That could have been very... well, many problems could have been created if I hit that rock. And now coming back into this jump, I think I'm going to have to take it very, very cautiously here. I've got no trust in this car whatsoever to get around, but now we're into the halfway stage now of the lap and getting a bit squirrely under braking. Now coming into the corner of Doom, not putting any power down whatsoever. Now make it around the first corner of Doom. Now coming over the very cambered rocks bit of road into the second corner of Doom. Managed to make it around there, getting a bit squirrely on the power once again. Back end is stepping out. Of course, this thing being a muscle car, it's really out of its comfort zone. We just managed to get around the bridge corner, running the edge of the track very, very dangerously. But now into the final sector, I'm getting a bit squirrely once again. It's the back end stepping out absolutely everywhere, and this has not been a good run through the final sector. But now we can use all that muscle car power. Now heavy under braking now. Into the right hand, and now coming up now to the final corner, going to have to go on the brakes there. Just have no trust in the car whatsoever. Over the final little jump, and now coming up to the finish line, and hopefully this has been a somewhat decent time from the Ruiner, just to see if it's anywhere close to a top 5 time, and what time we can put up to the other 2 cars that are still yet to go. Coming on now to the second car, and it's one of the brightest cars we're to take on the course. It's the Felon. In the coupes class, so it's going to have a decent amount of power, but it also has quite a bit of size as well, since it's a four-door car, so not going to be able to cut the corners as much as I want possibly in this car, but definitely more stable than the Ruiner, so might be able to throw it around a few more corners, and hopefully those rocks in the Sector of Doom won't be as much of an issue. Definitely take a lot more liberties with this car, getting very, very airborne. That's not the most comfortable of landings I've ever done, but I think I'm going to be okay to get away with stuff like that, because it's got the grip, so there's a lot of grip in this Felon, just with how it is in general, being, I think, the second best coupe in terms of racing around a normal track, so I've got a decent car here, so spinning out I don't think will be an issue, and I doesn't feel like this car loses that much traction either. I mean, I don't know what the exact traction loss is for this car, like I know the Kruma doesn't lose any traction off-road, but I feel like the Felon is doing okay so far. Going into the Sector of Doom now, it's definitely got a lot more grip, a lot more front end than what I was honestly expecting it to have. So this actually might one-shot the run if this bush doesn't cause any issues. Oh no. That was an aggressive grab there on the rocks. And going to take his... Oh! That's an interesting camera angle. Can we make it over to the other side? Can we... I think we've made it. Well, that's the first. Unfortunately, though, the car did go in the drink, so the engine did drown in the end, but a very, very promising first run from the car. So it looks like I'm going to have to take it a bit slower, because I think I just took it a bit too fast, but this thing does have the front end grip, so I can definitely push this Felon a lot more than I was hoping and expecting to, so I think this might actually be a fairly decent run of it. You can see that take a massive jump over there, because now it's got the grip on the landing to actually keep going in the right direction, getting the end kicking out. Oh, that's not the best line for me through the first sector here, so going to cost a bit of time, so definitely have to push now through the Sector of Doom and then through the first sector to make up that bit of time, but still, due to how grippy the front end of this car is, it's going to be pretty decent to make up some time, I'd imagine. Now coming around into the rocks, getting very, very low in the brake there, almost going to a complete standstill once again, so just not finding the braking point I need around that corner, but still, just got so much grip in this Felon that you can just launch out the other side of corners, but if I push too hard then it's not going to like it that much. Don't actually know what to call that corner yet. Now getting a nice run here through these three corners. So this first third of the lap I got pretty much nailed now, and that's coming into this jump here. So we're going to have to take it a bit slower here to ensure that I actually get... Oh dear! That's a first! That's a first. I did not... Oh! First car to explode! How? Oh, that was painful. That I was not expecting. So, like you've got the paper Felon. I was not expecting that to blow up the car given the other jumps it's had, but wow. I was not ready for that. Actually, legit jump scared me. I was not expecting that to blow up, because of course I've got the sound pretty much on full volume here, because my mic that I'm using to record this is mostly broken, so I'm having to have it on full volume so I can actually hear what's going on, so that was loud. And, well, I have to know now that that jump is going to cause issues. I was not expecting it to that much, and well, I'm going to try and recover now, because my heart rate is genuinely going a lot faster than it was about a minute ago, so yeah, try not to use the... Oh dear. This thing's just recreating all the issues now that I only thought the ball was going to be the car to roll over, but I didn't think this was going to catch another victim. I just wasn't expecting it, and I just lost my focus a bit, honestly, so I just need to try and just like regain my composure again. Take this not... Oh dear! Another explosion, are you serious? Oh dear, the paper Felon. The paper Felon. It strikes, and I've never had this many issues with the car before. Even the shaft that went before, I was not having so many issues with that, and I'm gonna have to keep this the right way up. Otherwise, I'm having so many issues. Once again, I'm gonna have to take this corner cut, otherwise I lose a load of time. But if it just lands upside down, this thing does not like landing upside down. I didn't think it was so weak. Damn. I didn't think it was this fragile. I think in being a big four-wheel, of course it's got four wheels, I mean four-doored. I thought this thing would be decently strong like the shafter and everything else that's come before, but I think I have the first candidate for weakest car here. I mean, I was expecting a few cars later on will have exploding issues, but the Felon, really was not one of them. Now, I have to take it more cautiously here. I'm not even pushing as much as I was on the previous ones because I just haven't got the confidence anymore in this car. Because with how loud the explosions are in my ear holes, that isn't fun. I have to take it crawling over the jump here, just about keep it going in the right direction. Now as we come into the midway stage of the lap, get that jump a bit wrong, but we managed to control it. Now coming into the corner of doom very slowly, almost coming crawling. With how slow we're going to there. Now coming into the very cambered section of the road into the second corner of doom, nice and early on the brakes. And now we're into the, coming up to the bridge corner into the final sector of the lap. And we've had issues everywhere so far, so I'm pretty sure this thing might have an issue somewhere through this third sector. Just got a few more corners left to go now coming into a straight line. I'm expecting, honestly, if this thing just combusts, I would not be surprised now. Heavy braking now for this right-hander. Now it's going to have a little dab on the brakes now, coming over this final jump now, which is there. And now coming up to the finish line. Do not explode, Fallon, do not explode. I'm going to finish another run sideways. And, well, this has had the most entertaining run so far. It just depends where that run. It may have been entertaining, but was that run anywhere near challenging for a top 5 time? Now coming on to the final car, and as you'll have seen by the title and thumbnail, this is one of my favourite cars in the game. I mean, to you this may just look like any old rusty Voodoo, and well, that's because it is. But it's what this car represents. It's based off a 1959 Chevrolet Impala, but most of you watching that still probably means nothing. But this car, well, the real life variant of this car, was used in my favourite, in the music video for my favourite ever song, POD Youth of the Nation, and hopefully I remember to put a picture of that on the screen from the video, but still. This thing is painfully slow, so I'm thinking it might one-shot the run, and this, come the end of all the cars, might end up being the slowest car. I mean, this thing is in the muscle cars class, but there is absolutely no worry of this thing spinning out from... It's got just so little power. I mean, it's been full throttle so far up until that arrow corner there. The first few corners there, that was all full throttle, and I'm hoping that this thing has enough power to actually get up this hill coming up. I mean, it's slow, but I don't think that's slow, and also it is pretty low to the ground. But I think it should have enough power. Come on, Voodoo. You can make it up this hill. Yes, there we go. And we get up this hill as well. Brilliant. And now coming into the end of the first sector, I'm thinking I can push this car pretty well. Now kind of braking, just a little dab on the brakes, little tap off the wall, but still, everything's gone okay so far. Now into the sector of doom, I'm not expecting this car to have any issues because this thing has terrible brakes as well. Being it's from 1959 and just the condition in getting this car's in, and oh dear, just managed to hold it off that side of the course. That's cost us even more time, and I hope for the car it gets under a 2-minute run. I'm hoping it gets a run under 2 minutes, but with how it's looking so far, I don't think that's going to happen. Can we just about save this? Oh no! We actually got wheel spin from this car! And we're going to roll right down the other side. Come on, don't blow up. Please don't blow up. Please stop. Come on, stop. No! Come on, get out. Come on, Voodoo. Come on, Voodoo, yes. Save the Voodoo, and I'm genuinely surprised that this is going to have to take more than one run to get a lap time out of. And now coming now into the final sector, only a few corners left to go. Don't want to take too many corner cuts and explore new areas because I don't know if there's any rocks, whatever, in these other corners. But now we can put the power down now, full throttle now into the heavy braking. This thing's got no brakes, and we just avoid the tree. Now, oh, that's compromised our lines horribly. Oh dear! I've rolled it, I've rolled the Voodoo, and that was not something I was expecting to happen. Just with how low the Voodoo is, I mean, yeah, it hasn't got the outright speed and power than pretty much everything else that has run so far, and it's still yet to run, but it's still got... Oh! It's got some fight in it, I see. I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting, of course, with all the cars you can push them too far, but I wasn't expecting that you could really manage to actually overdrive the Voodoo. But this thing is, this car's got some fight in it, a lot more than what I was honestly expecting. And now can go for the corner cut, go nice and high for the corner cut, just managed to jump over the rock. So getting a bit of air time, getting more up air time than forward air time. So not the most beneficial of corner cuts, but still quicker than driving actually the corner what it should be, and now coming to the end of this first sector once again, putting the power down, hear the engine revving out. Pretty much not getting many revs in second gear, but still this Voodoo, you gotta push it to the limit to try and extract the maximum from it. Actually getting a bit of a wheelie there now, coming under braking. This thing hasn't got the best brakes in the world. I think of all the cars to go, this thing might have to extend to 4 watts brakes, but with the lack of power it should be okay. Now going up this hill once again, the Voodoo really seems to like going up that hill for whatever reason. Now coming up to the jump of doom, actually going on the brakes, and we get a nice line over there. Actually pretty decent run through this first half of the lap, and now coming into the corner of doom, not taking the best line through here. Now dabbing the brakes into the corner of doom and out the other side, and we just put the power down now because there's no way we're going to spin out. Now coming over the cambered corners into the second corner of doom, we managed to get around there okay. Now coming up now to bridge corner, go for the corner cut line. Can we got the power down? Yes we can. And now through bridge corner and almost going off the other side of it. Still, for a muscle car, this thing has quite a lot of understeer in it, much like the Hot Ring Sabre did a few episodes ago. And now coming back now into the final sector, now we can put all of this Voodoo power down. Phantom throttle, and now coming into heavy braking once again, getting stopped a lot better. Now going a bit on the brakes, now over the jump now for the final time, getting caught on those bushes once again, but now we can floor it now up to the finish line. But this run, I pray this was a quick run under 2 minutes. And honestly, that Voodoo gave it everything it had, and I don't think that it's going to be the slowest run. I think it might actually have beat the Shafter. So then, taking a look at how today's cars did, and the Felon will be best placed, getting into 4th with a time of 1 minute 48 flat, just under 6 seconds off the lead of the Zentorno. So a really good time there actually from the Felon, so using the grip of its front end to its advantage. And the Ruiner comes in 2nd for today's cars, and in 9th overall with a 1 minute 55.2, so actually slower than I thought it would be, since the Z-Type did a 152.7, and I thought it'd be somewhere around there. So I thought the Ruiner would be faster, and then rather inevitably the Voodoo was the slowest of the cars with a 2 minute 3.6. Wow, I didn't think it was that slow. That felt like an under 2 minute lap, but well, De Classe now has 2 of the slowest cars of the 12 that have gone so far. So if you enjoyed this 4th round of the Dangerous Road Rally, remember to leave a like on the video, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. I'll see you all next time.